Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it is Sunderland, it is Bright Lights. You may be listening to me and be like, Damien, you sound horrible. Yeah, I'm a bit nasally. My sinuses are playing up, my voice is gone. Well, it's going. We're not well at all. But the content doesn't stop. We've been simming after work, I've been given the day off tomorrow. So the plan tomorrow may actually be to stream if we wake up well enough. It will depend. Links will be in the description below as always. But the main reason that we're here instead of right on the Arsenal game is Nakumbu's got a scout report and said that he was growing. He's still a wonder kid and he's sensational for us and we should be using him. Only problem is he doesn't have a work permit. So what I decided to do is instead of apply for his work permit, which I could do right now, I decided to offer him a contract. My new contract that I've offered him now, instead of paying 15, I believe my contract offer that I have made for him right now, I think it's about 40 odd. He wanted like 30 as a key player. I'm like, let's get it up to 44. I think we got it 43. Get him at the really high end of what everyone else is earning at the club. He's currently playing in a top 6 division in Europe, even though he would have been playing in a top 6 division here. But I've gone to give him a new work permit. He's been playing some games. He's been playing international football. So I reckon that with the rules that do apply to work permits in the league, if we go to the rules, he should get 4 points, which gives him a contract, which would be sensational, right? But without a current work permit, it obviously goes off that, but the appeal is what I'm looking at right now. And even if we're not allowed to appeal because he's currently renewing his contract whilst being at the club, and it makes us wait at the 120 days for appeal. On appeal, I reckon he is not in the top 3%, but he's in the top 25% of the 30 earners at the club, and he plays in a top 6 league in Europe. That should give him 4 points. If that's the 4 points that we're giving him, he should be getting it. Anyhow, we are going to continue forward because it should happen today in this little sim to see if we are actually going to get there. We are going to talk about the results that you have missed since that day, but we'll see how it is. Unfortunately, as South Africa do not have a high enough ranking. That's also the other thing, right? If South Africa are in the top 50, he gets a work permit because he's one of their better players and he plays with a fair bit. If you go to Daniel's thing, the wonder kid has 16 caps at 19. I am going to appeal because you may appeal if you believe he'll get enough work points about it. If they should appeal, we have to wait another 120 days. I honestly think he will. I honestly think it is. I want to see when the appeal date is because I've got a feeling it will all happen on the 5th. And I thought you would want my reaction live instead of, oh, this happened and this is what happened. We are appealing. It may be not happening here. It might happen on the 6th. I'm hoping it will. It's meant for the 8th. Okay, when is the 8th? The 8th is game day against Arsenal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim back for that one there. I'm going to quickly save the game. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out and then we're going to go back to the Arsenal game. Get to the Arsenal game in a second where we will see if Daniel gets his work permit and if we can stay in 10th in the league. There's actually a few things to play for in terms of money-wise. We can finish as low as 11th, as high as 10th. Technically, we can actually, with a win against Arsenal, Bournemouth, we can finish 9th on goal difference as well. But we'll see how we go anyway. In saying that, we'll see you in just a second for the work permit review and the Arsenal game, which will be the last game of this season. Welcome back, YouTube. It is the 8th. We're at 9 a.m. So what we're going to do is we're going to sim forward to see when Daniel's work permit news comes in and get to the Arsenal game. I don't understand how he's not got a work permit there. Can anybody just understand why he's not got a work permit? He's one of our biggest earners, which is 3 points. He's playing in the top 6 leagues, which is 4 freaking points game. Alright, do we sell Daniel in the summer? Because I've wasted a whole year waiting for him, and no one can get a work permit for him at all. Full stop. I just don't get it. Like, if you go to the rules, I've had enough of this, seriously. You go to the rules, the guy has got it. You're telling me he's not. Top 25% of the club's wages. There we are. Top 25. He's in 3 points of the players in the top 25%. I can guarantee he's up there. He's up there. There we go. 1 point of the players playing an active club in the top 6 leagues in Europe. He is. He's currently at loan to Benfica. There we go. That should be 120 freaking points. 4 points, sorry. Shouldn't have to wait another 120 freaking days for that. Complete renewal. There we go. Frustrating. Only thing that is that it means that his value is going to go up now, which is great. Like, the kid should be worth, a little bit, right? We did sign him for 1.3 mil, so there's no way that we won't, right? If you look at the Premier League, if it won't let you do it like that, and I have to look at the Premier League itself. I've added in Portugal now as a playable nation. I thought I already had. Portugal was 6th, which is one of the top 6 clubs in Europe. That should be a point, 3 points for earning wage. Like, we go to our squad and we go by reports now. We should be able to go by not stats, selection info, contract, and we go by wage. He's in there. He's 45k. He's our third biggest earner. You telling me that there is not 4 points there? Are you fucking serious, game? You gotta be fucking kidding me. I just don't get it, man. I honestly don't get it. How is that not 4 points? Can someone please tell me how that is not 4 fucking points? Anyhow, let's get into it. Aguero's not 100% fit, but he's on the bench. We've been playing the kids. In terms of results, Rise, I don't really care. We've been dicking around with results. Drew 0-1 1 to Everton. Drew 0-0 to Everton in a game that we dominated, couldn't put the ball back in the net. Didn't dominate Bournemouth. We kept the ball well, but they created way too many chances on the break. We deserve to lose that game. And then against Leicester, we will, there or thereabouts. We're actually 2-0 down, or 2-0 down, 4-2 down, late doors, switch to that 4-3-2, 4-1-3-2 formation you saw. Against Brighton, we scored another 2 late goals. Fofana off the bench getting one. There you go. We're just going to get into this Arsenal game today. I honestly just don't care where we finish now after watching that with Daniel. It is, I'm sick as a dog. I'm here to create content, and the game kicks me in the teeth like that. I just don't understand how that's not 4 points. Don't understand how that's not 4 points. We owe Arsenal what happened, obviously, in the FA Cup last time. It would be nice to finish in the top 10. It would be nice to finish 9th. Send the assistant. I expect us to get heavily beat here, but I don't care. Just go out there and put a performance, boys. In terms of when we're streaming next, it will probably, either I take the day off tomorrow and we stream Thursday, and it will be the transfer window. I predict as soon as that this is over, I'm going to start trying to set up a lot of scouting, so then when we do stream, all the scouting's already been, not done, but it's all been set up and ready to scout. I still just don't understand how Daniel has not got a work permit. In terms of where we finish, if I care, look, I'd love to finish in the top 10 or above, because that does mean that for De Silva, he's happy that we finish in the top half. It doesn't bother me too much. Money-wise, we should have made enough money this year that we should be okay. I'm just hoping that we get a very good wage budget, and that is a red card early doors. And if you heard the notification, it wasn't me. It was me with a notification from Facebook, by the way, not anywhere else. But yeah, it's just another disappointing kick in the teeth in this save. We're trying to progress it so much. And look, I shouldn't be saying that we're doing poorly or anything like that, because to be honest, I'm happy with the way the boys are playing, by the way. First year in the Prem, to finish in the top half would be unreal, right? To even finish 11th would be staggering. It's a great result for a team that was predicted to get relegated. At the same time, if the work permit system didn't screw me around and Daniel was here alongside Sorata, I'll tell you right now, we would have conceded even less goals than what we have right now, right? With Smithy's behind him, Daniel there, I'm telling you that 2-0 against Arsenal in the FA Cup, we would have won that game as Godin hits the bar, story of our life. We just haven't scored. There is a case for me to find the next big striker and just spend big money on him. I am very tempted to. In saying that, I have a lot of striking options here at the club, so I don't want to. I think Dadasov's going to go. You can see here by today's performance that he hasn't been great. Haller's going to put the ball in. Haller's a big step forward. Thuram headed it over. There's also a key for me to maybe find a better winger than Thuram, because Thuram misses a lot of chances, even though he scored a lot this year too. I just honestly think that, there's a lot of people that are going to be done and dusted for the year, and be done and dusted with us. Another one probably be Lozano. I think Lozano hasn't had the best of years for a guy that's meant to be at the Premier League level. But we'll see how we go anyway. It'll be Haller again. His corners are pretty good, Haller. As I say that, he hasn't picked anyone out there. I'm predicting this as a pointless highlight because we're making a change as a crunching tackle comes in on De Silva, and that'll be it. Another good performance from us where we've been defensively solid and we've created chances, but yet again, because we don't have enough quality up front, that we haven't put it away. Thuram's been decent. Alex is now in the park, and he has even better corners as the ball comes in. Lopez drops it. Just get in. And that happens, a little bit of luck. Keeper actually drops the ball and Haller can't put it through bodies. It's just really frustrating. Anyway, with the last 5 minutes of this season, we are going to bring Miguel on for Sergi Sampri. Miguel's grown into quite the little player that him and Sampri are at a decent level. There's also a case for me to maybe even play Sergio Sampri upper line in the midfield because he's actually a very good central midfielder too. He's just probably not enough forward thinking for us in a 4-3-3. There's maybe even a case to play 4-2-3-1. There's maybe even a case maybe to look towards a diamond and maybe shun the wingers, but we just put Haller in. There's a case for all of it. Anyhow, we'll see how we go. There might even be a case for an asymmetric system. As the ball gets played out a lot, and knowing how this season has gone, we're probably going to concede late doors. It actually falls to Godin. Aguero's there. Aguero has actually been quite decent for the money. Alex has now got room to run into. He's 1v1. Surely, there we go. We've actually deserved to win this game. And we are against Arsenal. There we go. I'm still upset about the 4 points that Daniel has not got on his work permit. 4 points. You're telling me that it's not 4 points? I just don't know. Anyway, it's a great ball over the top from Godin, who's been our star player this year. I wouldn't be very surprised if he wins Player of the Year from the fans. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's named up there with one of the players of the month. Apparently, he was close to being off. There was no way, what's his name's in an offside position, Haller, but he's not interfering with play. That should be game over. We should win from here. I'm not even going to bother going defensive. 10 seconds left. If Arsenal score now, it would sum up our season perfectly. A season that could have been with maybe Europe, maybe it could have been better with an FA Cup run or something like that. Instead, for us, it is going to be a 1-0 win on the final day, and it will be a top half finish, so nothing to be scoffed at. Something we can build upon next season with the right signings. I honestly think next year with the right signings, that we can maybe even push for a top 8 finish, and maybe try and sneak in the Europe or the Europa League. I definitely think there's a cup run in this side too. Definitely think we've been good enough. There's the final whistle. We are deserved winners here against Arsenal. We probably deserve winners in the FA Cup game that we did lose. And you played very well today. It was very special, lads. And there we go. Mike Godin getting player of the match yet again for us. But that's going to be the end of the episode, guys. I'm going to be back with a stream tomorrow or Thursday with more of the end of season, all the scouting, etc., etc. We get 21 mil. Where did we end up finishing? I'm not even going to bother doing the press conference there. However, at one stage we looked like qualifying champions. We really get too carried away. At one stage we started well. We started that well that we were currently in 4th or something. 3 games in. If you're going to tell me that we weren't getting too carried away, then by all means, all right. We finished 10th. Bournemouth won on the final day, which means that they were always going to finish 9th. It just means that we finished top half, so De Silva's pretty happy. Dylan doesn't want to be sold. Thing to be said about Dylan, because he played so much under 23 football, that he's actually turned into a half decent, leading Sky Bet Championship player. At one stage, it was actually Damascus, my head of youth development, said that Dylan has grown and was a good player for the Premier League. I played him a couple of games and he wasn't good enough in that run. We were meant to be playing the youngsters. Anyhow, that is the end of the episode, guys. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like on the video. As always, links in the description below to follow us on Twitter and on Twitch. A very, not a very sick Damien, but a sick Damien with a poor voice, quite blocked, has put it all out here for another YouTube episode. Unfortunately, we don't get Daniel on a work permit, but in saying that, hopefully we get some money for future players and future sales. Hopefully Daniel gets a work permit in the summer. If he doesn't, he's definitely a player that we might look to sell on to a Champions League club elsewhere outside of England for a bit of money. And yeah, that would be the end of that. Apparently Marcus is our top goal scorer with 8 goals. That sums up our season. That Marcus is our top scorer with 8 goals. And, we were the 7th best defence in the league, but we couldn't score goals. If we could score goals this year, we finish in the top 8, and we might even sneak into Europe. Instead, we are finished in mid-table obscurity, which I will take in the first year of the Premier League. As always, be safe. Thank you for watching. This is Damien Sunderland and Bright Lights signing out, and I will see you next time for another episode of Bright Lights.